Hi guys, I'm Woodcraft Hamster and I thought I'd do another quick episode for you today on carving a spoon when you're out in the field. Now last week we looked at this, which is just a little teaspoon that I put together, and that was just with simply one single knife and a small branch. Now what I did on the last videos, I mentioned that obviously you can upscale this, so you can make sort of larger eating spoons with a similar method, and I thought what I'd do today is use two tools rather than one. So most of us will carry an axe and a knife generally for bushcraft. I think most people do anyway, and I figured, it was just another good example of showing you how, if you're out and about, you're on an overnight or a weekend or something like that, you can take just a couple of simple tools with you. I know spoon knives don't take up a lot of space, but not everyone has one, not everyone can afford one, and especially if you're just starting out, most people will have a knife and most people will have some sort of an axe. Doesn't really matter what type. I'm using my little Gransfors Cubbon and my Ramir's Bushcraft, but you could just as easily do this with maybe a tomahawk or a cheap bushcraft axe and something like a Mora clipper. So what I'll do, let me just move the camera a little bit closer in and I'll show you what it is we're going to do. Right then guys, so as with the last time, we're going to be using a split down log. It was a branch last time, but same kind of thing. And the thing to remember here is that we're looking to start carving on this rounded outer section. This is what's going to help us set in our spoon bowl. So that's the bit we want to be working on. Now obviously this is this has probably been cut down to eighths, so there's less of a curve here than there was on the half branch we used last time, which won't give you as deep a spoon bowl, but it will do at a pinch. And obviously you can take a larger branch, maybe not something as large as this was, and split it in half or quarters to get more of a radius on here. And that's really the point of this, is the more of the radius you've got, the deeper a bowl you can set in. And really, as I say, you're just going to start off by carving down into the center of this, and hopefully, if I just move some of this bark out of the way, hopefully you can see there already you're starting to get this kind of shallow depression that's going to be your spoon bowl. Now what I think I'll do, I won't bore you with all of this, I will speed through some of this footage and come back when we've got the bowl set in a little bit better. So there we go guys, we now have, which hopefully is picking up on the camera, a reasonably good spoon bowl. It's not going to win any prizes for beauty, but it will certainly be functional. And I'm just going to move the camera around a second, and I will show you the next steps. Right then guys, so really now it's just a case of axing this out. You would have seen me do this before on other videos, so what I'll do is I will just skip through this footage and just give you a quick run through. Right then guys, so slight mishap. I made this a little bit too thin, but I'm going to finish this off really just to show you that this is doable and not to make the same mistakes I've just done. And again, this kind of thing does happen when you're carving, especially like me, when you're trying to do it in a little bit of a rush, which you would have thought I would know not to do by now. If I just tidy this spoon bowl up a little bit, just so you can see what it would have looked like. So if I just give you a bit close up of this, hopefully you can see that if you forget the fact that there's no handle on this, and even in fact, you know, you could probably just use this as a little micro spoon just to kind of scoop out your food and that kind of thing. But you know, as far as the bowl's concerned, which was the main purpose of this video, you know, this is a perfectly usable, a perfectly, you know, perfectly good spoon to use if you've cooked something and you just need something to transfer it from your billy can or your plate to your mouth. So there we go, guys. Here is our little eating spoon made with 2 tools and from 1 split piece of log. Obviously we lost the handle, and that really is my fault. It was a case of more haste, less speed. And you know, I've been doing this long enough now. I should have known better. There was a bit of a knot in there. I thought I'd cut it out, but there was a little bit of an indentation that weakened the handle. But you know, it does go to highlight the fact that, you know, these things do happen when carving. You know, if especially you're doing something like me, and I can remember very clearly back to when I was starting out in carving, I wanted to get everything carved as quickly as possible. And you know, normally I don't do that, but you know, today it's quite cold out in the workshop. You know, I was trying to sort of get through this pretty quickly, and you know, you see the results. But all in all, I think for the purpose of this video, you know, this spoon bowl here, you know, is pretty good. Let me see if that's focusing all right there. You know, that was perfectly good to eat with. I've tidied it up a little bit with a knife. You know, I could go further, but this is the kind of thing that I would make if I was out and about. You know, I was spending an overnight or a weekend in the bush, and I just wanted something to eat with. You know, I normally carry like a spork or something like that with me, but you know, there's something really nice about making something yourself, just for the purpose of, you know, whatever you're using it for, that can either be thrown away or chucked in the fire or even taken home if you really want to. And that is the benefit of this method, is, as I said before, you don't need a spoon knife, you don't need any specialist tools. You can even do it with just a knife, as you saw last week, but if you do have an axe or maybe a saw, it just makes the process that little bit easier. So I hope that was useful, guys. I mean, again, you know, I ruined this a little bit, but you know, it also, I suppose, goes to show that you can salvage things even if you do make a mistake and you cut or break something off you don't intend to. So really, guys, that was it. So I hope it was useful. Comments and questions in the box below. Hit like and subscribe if you'd like to see more, and I hope you'll all join me next time. Cheers, guys.